on. We are on.
Good afternoon, Jason.
Howdy.
Obviously, one absentee at the moment is our lovely
Hashtag.
our lovely totem hashtag Daquanda. Do you know where she's gone to?
Yeah, she had to take some emergency leave to the Bahamas.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if I truly believe that story.
Yeah. What family issues or stress leave?
So no, she had to go look after someone called Tyrone or Tyrese or something. I don't know.
Oh, right. Okay.
So yeah, unfortunately she can't be with us,
Yeah.
which is a bit of a bummer.
Oh well, her spirit will always be here.
Yeah, I just don't know about these fake sick days. But I still got to pay her for the
or the very well known scam of working from home. Yeah, sure, you're working from home.
working on your tan.
Yeah.
I noticed something recently that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
You know, school zones, they're 40 kilometres, obviously.
Yeah.
And you have crossing guards, I guess you call them, or we used to call them like lollipop.
Oh, yeah.
What's their technical term?
Lollipop, crossing...
What's their PC name?
Crossing guard? I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so at our school, obviously, or most crossing guards are...
Did you have a particular encounter recently, or
no? I just
is
noticed.
this just a little bone to pick?
No, I just noticed this, and I thought it might be an interesting point to discuss. I don't know. But yeah, so normal crossing guards, I guess, or people, they're in front of schools and they put their flags up, and they actually serve a purpose of slowing down traffic to let people cross the road. But I noticed that there's been crossing guards creeping into like traffic light crossings near sort of in the vicinity of school areas,
but that aren't actually properly set up as a crossing.
No, my point is, like, you just press a button, you wait for it to to go green, so then you can walk.
Oh, I see what you mean.
What's the actual point of the crossing person in that instance of between traffic lights?
Yeah,
because they're not stopping traffic. You're doing exactly what you would do if they weren't there.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's say the argument is that they're there to make sure the children don't run away or whatever, like off the road or whatever. But I mean, that's just stupid because they're all like 60, 70 plus years old. So if a 10-year-old kid decides to run across the road into oncoming traffic, I don't think their reaction time and their pace is going to save that kid, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it just made me think like, wow, I think that's actually... There's not many jobs out there that you think, wow, what are they actually doing? Is that an actual job they just made up?
Yeah,
but
much,
I honestly,
much like my previous manager.
But I honestly,
shots fired.
I honestly think that that's just a job that's not needed to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, because think about it this way, yeah. Once the kids cross the intersection where the lollipop dude is or girl, then they're walking on a footpath maybe still past the main road. So what's stopping them then just run onto oncoming traffic later on past the crossing?
Because
so honestly, like that's just a stupid job.
Yeah,
I get it in front of schools.
Yeah,
like where there's no traffic light crossings. But like that's just honestly a stupid job.
Yeah, look, I don't quite get the kind of what the... I suppose if there's any kind of... I don't know if I'd call it like legislation or like if you know you can only have like a crossing guard you know within like an intersection of a school, or you know if it's a roundabout, or you know, because like obviously if it's like when, as an example, like our primary school, out the front there was no traffic lights. It was just like a roundabout, and there was just like another little crossing there, which we had a crossing person to supervise for people to come through and kind of manage the traffic. But I think, like, I know there's a school near my place, but there's like a big intersection there with lights and everything, but yet we still have crossing guards going over and like pressing the button for them and going across.
Things like that, just like I think about it, then once I can't come up with a logical reason why they're there, it actually starts annoying me.
Yeah.
That's
like,
a job.
Yeah, like I think definitely they should have like crossing supervisors or guards at primary schools, because obviously the kids are younger, and they're running around, and especially with like school pickup and drop off, there's like a lot of cars, and big SUVs with soccer mums drive, and they necessarily can't see what's going on around them.
I think the conclusion is that they're not needed in a traffic light scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to go to that extent, then why not? Let's take a leaf out of 10-pin bowling. Why not put bumpers up when the kids cross the road, so then the kids can't get over the bumpers?
Yeah. But I think, but then again, I think, I mean, I don't quite, I'm not 100% sure on this. Is that like as you said, crossing people are like usually of
older generation,
to use the PC word, old people, right? So I don't know what their kind of arrangement is in terms of like if they get paid, because it might just be a volunteering kind of thing, just to kind of like, if you retired or whatever, just kind of get them out and helping out with stuff, even if it is volunteering.
That's what I mean, though. Why are we just making up jobs to keep the older generation happy? Because they've got,
I don't know.
Where are their families? Why are they not playing bingo and like socializing?
Yeah, but look, I think that's a big thing in like.
I'm joking.
I think that's a big thing with the older generations, with like loneliness and like isolation, and especially if like you're widowed and stuff like that, it makes it more harder. So even if you don't get paid for the job at in that situation, I think old people out there, they just like like, I don't know, want to be kind of like needed for something.
Yeah.
Even if it's they don't get paid for it.
But I feel like instead of putting them in a job that surely they know is a useless job too, because they're adults, they would have to think deep down that like, wow, I'm really not needed here, but let's just keep at it. Let's use them for other positive vibes around communities.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe my way of thinking's a bit off, but it is definitely a useless job at a traffic light scenario, traffic light crossing scenario.
Yeah.
That and
I mean, I think it really depends on like how busy the intersection is.
See, I disagree. I don't think it does, because it's a traffic light, like you know what I mean. Like you're gonna cross that either way, and but think about it this way: as soon as they get past a major intersection, then they're just on footpath walking home, next to maybe a major road anyway.
Yeah.
So they're you're relying on them to have sense and follow the footpath, but nothing's stopping them chasing their ball on the road.
Yeah. Look. I think they certainly, need to have some kind of, I think they need to, obviously, have them in primary schools for the younger kids, but I think for high school, not needed as much. But I still think that, like, even if you know, if there are traffic lights, I certainly agree with you. But I think for a lot of schools, not so much in more of the built-up areas, but certainly ones that are just on normal streets or roads where there is no kind of intersection or roundabout. I think there still certainly needs to be guards there.
But in saying that, I always had a good relationship with the local crossing guards at our local primary school and the start of my high school. And I've got two stories that's in relation to that's always stuck with me.
Yeah.
One of them was back in the day, he's deceased now, but back in the day we had a family friend called Gerard, and we used to visit quite a bit, and he decided to have a garage sale. And because I was, as a kid, I always liked collecting stuff. No matter what it was, even if it was junk, I was a bit of a hoarder, but I just like collecting odd things.
Yeah.
And he had a set of lawn bowl balls for sale, and obviously because he was a family friend, I think he may just gave them to me, or I paid $5 or something. I can't even remember. Yeah. I forget what brand they were because I'm not into lawn bowls, but they started with H, so someone could figure that out. Anyway, I think it must have been within a couple of days. I must have been carrying them across the to school, taking them to school, and I was going past the crossing guard, obviously to get into school. And I must have been carrying the lawn bowls, and he sort of said to me, "Oh, you got some lawn bowls there." And I can't honestly remember what I said, but I showed it to him, and then I don't know how it worked out, but I was like he's 7 or something. I ended up selling them to him for like $50, then and there on the spot. And back then, like $50 was like,
that was a lot of money.
That was like, oh yes, boys.
Yeah, that was a lot of money.
I'm shouting, everyone, Sandboys. Sunny boys are on me.
Yeah, sunny boys are on me.
Yeah, so that's one of the classic stories. I sold a crossing guard in year 7, some lawn bowls. And then another one was I think I was in grade 5 or grade 6. I was innocent, didn't even think about girls, whatever. But I think one of my mates got in my ear to ask a girl out as a joke.
Okay.
So I did it. I asked I think it was like must have been Friday. I asked a girl out to go out with me on Friday, and she said yes. And I didn't know what to do. Like, I was a kid. I don't know. You know what I mean? So, and it was a joke. So,
God.
She said yes.
It's like doubly, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. But, she said yes. And then, I'd just go home for the weekend. You know what I mean?
It's like, I don't know how quite to respond.
Yeah. So, anyway.
To that answer.
So, anyway, she said yes. And then school finished. I just went home. And then the Monday came around. And I realised, I don't want to do this. It's a joke, so I had to dump her on Monday. Oh. Anyway, I won't say her name, but she knows who she is.
If she's watching.
But I dumped her on the Monday, and then she was that upset about me dumping her on the Monday, and maybe she found out it was a joke. I can't remember. It was all grade 6. You know what I mean? Yeah. That I was waiting at the crossing for my sister to pick me up after school on that Monday. And it was so embarrassing. As my sister pulled up, the lovely young lady came to me and slapped me across the face in front of the crossing guard and probably my sister as she drove her past. And I was just, because I was so innocent, I didn't know what was going on. I just stood there like, what just happened? Why am I getting slapped by this girl? So yeah, they're my 2 crossing guard stories.
Oh God,
what I was getting at is I'm pretty sure the crossing guard came to check. He's like, what happened? Why are you okay? But yeah,
I've never heard those stories before.
There you go. I'm a man full of stories.
Yeah, well, you learn something new every day.
Yeah,
I didn't really have that school romance stories?
No.
No.
No, neither did I. Besides, honestly, that was probably the only girl that said yes when I asked her out. But like, I was never. At the start, I was so innocent. I was like still playing with Matchbox cars. So I was like 16. I didn't know what a girl, like I didn't know that side of things. And then once I did start getting intrigued,
You're a late bloomer.
Yeah, definitely. And once I did start getting intrigued, and start having crushes and stuff like that, like, like I never had like proper haircuts, and I never like made an effort to look super good and stuff.
Yeah.
And I probably looked a bit dorky and wasn't the most popular kid and stuff there. So like when I tried to have a crush and ask a girl out, it was generally like a letdown,
Yeah.
But that's all in fun.
God, yeah, I know.
At the time, you take it hard, honestly, but like that's all in fun. You realise it's all innocent fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so that was asking that girl out and dumping her. That was the height of my school romances, I could say.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe I just got jinxed from that, and the world just repaid me with no romance during school.
You will suffer.
It's funny though, like, because all the popular boys and girls would all be shacking up and stuff like that, and they wouldn't really give you the time of day and stuff like that. And in school, I was never the most popular, but I was never like in the sort of geeky loser crowd either.
Yeah.
I sort of just used to get along to a certain point with everyone.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting, like when you look back on those same people now that sort of maybe turned their nose up at you a little bit because they thought they were like top shit.
Yeah, but you know what? Like
you just sort of see you sort of see, especially like some of the girls, but I won't name them. But you sort of see where they're at in life now.
Oh yeah, they're all preggo,
and yeah,
they're all got like 5 children,
and it just makes you realise
like no career.
It's a bit of a like a silent win, I guess.
Yeah, just to kind of look back and go, oh, fuck, what have you done with your life?
Yeah.
See where you are now.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was the height of my school romance.
Yeah, well, my kind of okay, I don't think I've actually quite told this story to anyone.
Is this the first for all of us, is it? You're hearing some new stories, I'm going to get some new stories.
I think it is.
Oh, jeez. Where's this going?
Okay.
What genre? No. Not what gender.
Okay, so...
saucy stories. Behind the bike shed. Saucy stories behind the bike shed. This goes back to the other idea we had off air. Let's go upstairs up late.
Yeah, this can be our pre-up late.
Anyway, go
on. Yeah, so in my kind of first kind of thing that happened was in grade 6. And
if you're about to tell me that you went behind the bike shed or in the sandpit and you gave someone I knew a handy, this will blow my mind. If you're about to tell me that you used your little 2 fingers, your thumb and a finger, and you gave someone a quick handy behind the sandpit, this will do me.
No. So
I'll walk out of the studio.
No. So trust me. So in grade 6, I don't know. I suppose I was quite kind of like I don't know. I wouldn't call myself popular.
I knew you,
but I think I was kind of like I was cool with like just like everyone.
You definitely hit puberty early.
Oh yeah. I mean, I certainly.
You had a full beard in grade 6. I remember that.
Maybe not grade 6.
I'm pretty sure it was grade 6.
I had photos back then.
Oh yeah. We can argue that off there.
Yeah. But I do remember there was this particular group of girls in my class in grade 6.
Did you know you were gay then? Or
not
did
really.
You? Nah, so you're sort of innocent, like, oh, let's explore. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
So I was kind of, I don't know if I'd say close, but I was kind of like, friendly in that with this kind of group of girls in my class.
Say some names, because I don't even know this story. Tell me some names.
No, they shall remain nameless.
You could tell me off here.
So I was quite, I don't know, chummy with them or friendly or, kind of hang out with them, in kind of like lunchtime and around our kind of, all kind of other people and stuff. There was this one time where this one girl out of the group came up to me and started, I can't really remember how it all started, but I think she started telling me like there's this certain other girl in my class that kind of liked me, and she'd kind of the way that she kind of started it was by like seeing if I liked any girl already in the class to see if it was that same person.
Isn't it funny back then? There's so many games.
I know.
Notes and
high school games.
Oh my god, he likes your shoelaces. Now you're just like, what's going on?
And
let's go for a coffee.
And I'll be 100% honest. This particular girl that came up to me and started kind of, I don't know, she was a bit pushy, but
Did she turn out to be a lesbian?
No. But she was quite tomboyish.
Does her name start with M?
No.
I'll get this, folks. Just get the sauce. Don't say last names, but get the juice out on air.
No. I actually kind of, I don't know, liked her a bit.
Okay.
But I didn't tell her that.
Yep.
But it was funny because she was the person that kept asking me for her friend, which was quite funny. It kind of went over a few days or whatever, and then like I think she told me or I found out like who it was, and then they said like they asked if I wanted to like I don't know, like go out with them or like be, girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yep.
This particular girl,
I'm itching to know names.
I liked as a friend, someone that I knew, but I suppose I didn't really like him in that way. But I didn't kind of like want to like let them down or like disappoint them. So I was like, yeah, sure, just see how it goes. And
back then it was always, let's see how it goes.
Yeah. So so that happened kind of. Actually, now that I think about it, it was kind of like at the end of grade 6, kind of towards the end. So it was actually kind of, it worked out quite well because like obviously we graduated primary school and then like obviously you branch off to high school and everything, and that's where you lose contact.
What was that song?
Always
gives me the chills.
Graduation.
As we go on,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We remember. I don't know.
That was like the end of school.
Every time I think about the end of school, I think about that song. And it's quite sad.
Yeah. I know.
Anyway, go on.
So yeah, I mean, we kind of didn't really kind of officially break up. We just oh yeah. So that was kind of like my first thing. But there was someone else interested in me that I didn't quite.
I had a girl that traumatized me for a little bit during high school. Which you might know this story.
Yeah, I think I do remember.
Yeah, she was a bit obsessed and just kept writing me like, I guess like love notes and stuff, and I'd actually keep telling her like, I'd be polite at the start, and then like towards the end, like I'd just tell her to her face like, I'm not interested, like leave me alone. And then I'd have friends telling her, and like obviously she just liked the cocoa skin and she just wanted more, because she couldn't take no for an answer. But
well, there's something to be said about being persistent when it comes to dating.
But yeah, so yeah, I never really had highlights in my school years.
And then there was this particular other girl in high school, which I think you will know this story.
Okay.
That's actually quite funny because this other person I had a crush on. I think I had this crush on this person, on this girl, like to begin with, and I think after a while, our other friend, who we've spoken about before, Jamie, I'll name him, but I obviously won't name the person who we're talking about. He actually, I believe, had a crush on her later on.
Was this girl maybe Hawaiian looking?
I wouldn't say so.
Brunette?
I wouldn't say Hawaiian.
Oh, like it maybe Indonesian, sort of?
No.
Oh, I must be thinking about something. Oh, it starts with A?
Yeah.
No. Now that I know, I could just spill the beans. I could get everyone in trouble. I'm not saying her name, but maybe it was.
Yeah, so
I'm not going to say that this girl is called.
Yeah, so this.
But maybe it was.
Shut up. So yeah, one funny story that.
It rhymes with Beaverman.
Okay. Too bad your microphones don't pick that up.
We'll put it in the comments.
Yeah, so that was kind of like, I kind of it probably might be better. I really want to tell you guys one really, really funny ass story. That is with Jamie.
Just go ahead.
But I think it would be better
with Jamie.
With Jamie, so we can both remember and laugh at it.
Well, the wheels are in motion to
and
get.
It's just so funny.
The wheels are in motion to get Fast Jamie on air.
Yeah.
Be happening shortly.
So yeah, so that was kind of like my second like female crush, and like that was what, like year 7, year 8. And then like, yeah, kind of like after that, kind of like more year 8. Yeah, that's kind of obviously when everything else started happening in my fucking head, and it took me a while to work out what was going on. So yeah.
But let's change the subject. Let's talk about adult life now. I've been thinking whether I'm going to go back to Rainbow Serpent Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. You joined us. last year.
I did. So
We've got
what was that in January?
Yeah, Australia Day weekend.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
We've got a bunch of mates in our mate circle
Yeah.
that have been in it year in, year out. And I've never been able to go either because of work or I've been low on funds or something like that. And they all kept telling me what I was missing out on.
Mm.
So last year I bit the bullet and just bought a ticket and made sure I got time off because I started a new job. So I made sure I told them I was taking time off. And I went. And I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what it is, Rainbow is like what's the best thing? It's like a camping music festival.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, it's a well, I think they call it like a music slash lifestyle artsy kind of.
So I think it starts
thing.
on like a Wednesday or Thursday or something, and it goes to like the Monday.
Yeah.
And then you just you pick a spot, you set up, and then they have multiple stages around everywhere. And you just party 24/7 and just have a really good time.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved Rainbow.
Yeah.
So, and it made me realize all these years what I was missing out on. I could have done it 5 more times. So, I think I will go.
Yeah.
But I think I shared your tent.
Yeah, like at the tail end of it.
So what I'm hoping to do for this Rainbow is have a camper van.
Yeah, because we had so I think from memory the site that we set up in next to us was this other guy who
Dom. His name's Dom.
Dom. If you're out there, probably not. He had like I think it was just like a normal kind of van, but it had like a thing on his roof that he could pop up.
It was like an old high-ace van. It had like a rooftop tent.
Yeah.
Like a camper van rooftop tent.
Yeah.
And then inside he decked it out. I think it had like the kitchen towards the back as like a normal camper van, but it had another bed and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And then it had I think they called it annex or awning or something that comes off it.
Oh, an awning. Yeah.
And then that was like his sort of chill area.
Yeah.
And I really liked that setup.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been cool.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have some form of camper van set up before next Rainbow.
So obviously because that is actually coming around quite quick. Gee, this year's flown by.
It has, hasn't it?
I think we've only pretty much got like 5 months.
Yeah, so I'm
5 months till there. So, what are you kind of thinking you're doing? Like, obviously, I know you've been talking about these other cars that you've been working on. So you're hoping to get some money from there to see if you can.
Yeah. So, obviously, with this Rainbow, because of the tight deadline, I might just get a van and just do quite a simple setup. Just put a bed in it. Maybe hook up a few things, but just keep it simple for this one. And then maybe the next one I'll be able to sort of spend another year and deck it out probably a bit better and stuff like that. It's easier because you have a car so you can drive up there and then you don't have to worry about setting up a tent or taking down the tent and your bed's in there and if it's blowing a gale or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty much like what our mate Brett has done in kind of pretty much every instance where we've gone camping or whatever. He's had a pretty big work van that he's been able to kind of turn into a makeshift tent, as you will, just by shoving a mattress in the back. So yeah, I think it's a real kind of cool, convenient way to kind of
explore.
Yeah.
But getting onto Rainbow and having such a good time.
Yeah.
I actually want to get onto the story of how I met a certain someone.
Yeah. So tell us about that.
So I knew of this person.
Yeah.
Beforehand because I obviously back then I listened to Triple J quite a bit.
Yeah.
And she was just getting a female artist that was just getting started with some cool vibes. So when we were at Rainbow, it was extremely hot, as you can remember. So hot.
That was really hot.
So I can't remember if it was solely. I don't want to take credit if it was solely my idea, but I had the idea of no, sorry. When we were going to Rainbow, we knew the weather was going to be so hot, so we went to a hardware store and bought like, the water spray bottles, but you'd put like weed killer and stuff in it, and you'd pump it up, and it comes out in a nozzle that's like pressure, and you can adjust the nozzle. We went out and bought a couple of those, just because we knew it was going to be so hot, and there's no like dam or swimming pool or anything, so we just wanted to make sure we were comfortable cooling ourselves down. So we bought that. So we obviously had that at Rainbow. Then we realised it was so hot. So we had the idea of setting up the hashtag
Spray Station.
Now, if anyone is watching or listening and went to last year's Rainbow
and went through Spray Station,
we'll set up.
Please, heads up. Let us know. Give us some love.
We were set up on the south side, opposite the Renegade stage. So what we did was we grabbed some camping chairs. We filled up our spray bottles. We called ourselves Spray Station.
So, like there was a big separating like driveway, walkway kind of area. And we would set up like on one side and another side. So people could then walk through and get sprayed on both sides.
So what we used to do is we used to just heckle people to come through our spray station, and then we'll do a community service, and we'll just spray them all down. Anyway, so I think we were doing that for a while. And then these two girls started approaching. A taller lady and a younger lady, and I remember thinking, geez, she looks very familiar. Anyway, as she was approaching, we used to have some, what were our slogans like?
We had one...
Get wet, something wet at the spray station?
So I think I came up with a couple. I came up with satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. I think there was another one about if you come through and get a spray, you'll get a set of free steak knives or something. Or something like that.
So as you can imagine, we're just having a good time with it, and because the festival's good vibes, everyone was loving it. Plus, they got to cool down for free, and they didn't have to fill the water up and stuff, which we did. I'd have to carry those empty bottles and back full from the tap. But anyway. That's just a community service we did for Rainbow Serpent Festival 2018. So sponsor us, Rainbow, for next event, and we'll set up a booth, a proper spray station. But anyway,
we'll get proper corporate brand.
We'll have a marquee up, cards. But anyway, it goes back to my story. So these two ladies walk in, and then as we're sort of, I guess, heckling or saying our slogans. Because you can walk around the spray station, but most people would come through. They decided to come through, and then I had a moment where I'm like, oh my God, I recognize this girl. So I...
So it obviously didn't take you long to recognise her from when she was walking to coming through.
So once she got to the spray station, I recognised who she was. I held out my hand to give her like a handshake, and as she gave me a handshake, I sort of leant in closer like to her, because I didn't want everyone knowing, and maybe it's something she doesn't want to be, doesn't want everyone crowding her and just wants to have a good time. But I said to her, I know who you are. And then she looked at me with just like a sort of a smirk. And then I said, you're Tash Sultana. And then she just laughed. And then I said... So no one really heard that besides me. So it was like a moment me and her just said, cause I'm like, you're Tash Sultana. And then once we leaned back, I told her, do a twirl for the spray station. So she did a couple twirls in our spray station, and we pumped up the bottles and we hosed them both down, her and her partner. But and then I just remember thinking, what a cool story. Like Tash Sultana walked through our spray station, was humble and nice enough to like sort of speak with us.
Yeah.
And go through the sort of what we were doing.
Yeah.
And getting sprayed and stuff. And I got to say, she is such a cool, like chilled, just nice person.
Yeah.
And I remember being a bit starstruck after it happened. Like, oh wow, like because I've never really met anyone of fame.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like I've seen Anthony Koutoufides like line up in the airport. You know what I mean? But I've met Barry Hall at a nightclub. But like to me, that was like, oh my god! And she was up and coming, and she like had really cool tunes and stuff. So yeah, so she we had a quick word, and then she did a twirl, and we hosed them down, and then on she went with her festival life. But after doing some research, I realised that she's actually been to Rainbow. She goes to Rainbow like year in, year out.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, even though I don't know if it's changed that she's sort of a bit bigger now.
So I haven't actually heard any of her music.
Nah, definitely.
So
definitely, obviously the main one, or not the main one, but the one that probably got her big was Jungle, I think.
Okay.
But she's got a new album out called Flow State.
Okay.
And I would advise you to definitely check her out.
So
just put her in your car.
Kind of a vibe is it?
Oh, she just has a very alternative sound than what you would normally hear if you listen to rubbish on other stations. She's very talented, extremely talented. Plays everything, and the way she puts it together. Sometimes the sound.
So she's a solo artist.
Yeah, but sometimes it can come across a bit raw and stuff like that, or a bit not as heavily produced as you'd hear other tracks like other artists.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes her. That's what creates that sound and that she's famous for.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was quite a good experience meeting her and her partner. Probably I don't know, about 5 minutes, and then she went on again and never saw her again in the festival.
Yeah.
So now we're just Rainbow's just gonna sell out with just everyone that wants to try and meet Tash Sultana, because she does go year in, year out.
I reckon it would be really cool if there are enough people who do remember the spray station, send us some love, and we'll try to convince the organisers at Rainbow whether we can set up some official advertising for Spray Station 2019.
Yeah, we could actually make it a thing that we just do a year in, year out, and we sort of get known as the Spray Station. It's a thing. We get hired by them to help as a community service.
Although, again, the weather has to be right for us to do it. Cause it's like if it's,
And if anyone's in Tash Sultana's circle, have a chat to her about it, because I'm sure she'll remember the Spray Station. We even had the festival security guards coming through the Spray Station.
I remember that. Yeah,
to get hosed down.
Yeah. They loved it.
Police, because obviously the festivals are policed, which is quite a good initiative. But even the police were having a chat to us about it, and everyone was just super cool. And I think because we were just doing it off our own back. We weren't getting paid. It was we thought it'd just be funny and have some stories would come out of it, like
I reckon
meeting Tash Sultana.
Yeah, so. The Rainbow that we went to last year was my first time as well. Looking back at it now, I think definitely the Spray Station part was a very big highlight that I'll always remember, which was always funny.
Just me and my girlfriend's shortest pink shorts, no top on, just with like a super soaker weed killer spray thing, just loving life. That's what it's all about. But yeah, if you ever get the chance to go to a camping festival and you haven't done so already, I highly recommend it. Just go, have fun. Just don't be uptight about it. Just go with the flow, and especially if it's like a lifestyle artsy type festival, everyone is really chilled about it. There's generally no issues, so give it a go.
Yeah.
But Rainbow Serpent 2019 #SprayBoys will be back in town. Boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. Ding, ding.
That can be our outro music to this episode.
We might, maybe we can get sponsored, and then we can have like a spray station DJ. And and it's just like full sprinklers from the roof that's come down. There's laser beams everywhere.
I think we had that idea that
maybe
we would have like a as you said, we'd have like a marquee ride, but the spray station would actually be the marquee, that you'd walk under the marquee, but would have like hoses spraying like the central part of it, walking through.
So if you're part of the Rainbow Serpent Festival crew,
yep,
or you're part of a side stage like Renegade stage where we camped across, you'll know the spray station. You would have heard of us. Reach out.
Yeah.
We're happy to do it. We don't even want to be paid. Maybe I was also thinking of...
Or even if we can just get like one of your graphic designs just to come up with like the spray station like logo or something.
I was actually thinking too... I think I'll carry out some podcasts up there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking...
Oh, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, so I'm looking... We better wrap it up, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah.
All right.
Hit us up.
All right. See you guys later.
Peace.